Wife, 38 female, acting like a different person and not communicating. Hey team, this post has been a long time coming. Been reading this subreddit for a few months, and I feel like it's time for me to share my story. I need to apologize in advance if this comes across as a rant. It's not meant to be. I've, 39 male, been married to my wife, 38 female, for 12 years, and together for 18 years. We live in the suburbs in a house we're renovating. We both have good jobs and are involved in our community at a volunteer level. No kids. We have a cat. However, earlier in the year, we were trying for baby, which is going to make what follows even more strange. Just like all other marriages, we've had our ups and downs. We don't usually argue. In 18 years, I can recall 5 or 6 arguments. The last 2 or 3 years, I felt have been the best of our 18. However, that's just my opinion. Doing more things together, communicating better, great sex in the bedroom, etc. I clearly took my eyes off the ball because 3 months ago, she suddenly told me she wanted space, but doesn't go into more details as far as what she means. Over the following weeks, her behavior starts to change, slowly. At first I ignore it, but I'm just in denial. She no longer uses the terms of endearment, but calls me by my name. This is super weird. I notice she starts drinking more alcohol. She came home one night and was sick. I wasn't at home, but found evidence of this later. This is unprecedented in 18 years. When she sent a message or email, she'd always send it with an XOX. This stops too. Slowly, stops being involved in anything I do, but without communicating it. Spends more time on her phone, and more protective of it. I don't know her PIN, so it doesn't matter. I know this is a big red flag on this subreddit. She would go crazy when I did this. Now she's on it all the time. I also believe she has hidden her screen from me when sitting together side by side on a few occasions. Our physical interactions, hugs, kisses, go down to a minimum, like a tap slowly being turned off. In the end, she would kiss me on the cheek. That's when I knew something was really wrong. Started going big on makeup, face, grooming routine. I think this was prompted by a female friend, however, the timing is interesting. The biggest issue is she never communicated properly to me that something was wrong, so it just deteriorated to the point that, after 2 months of the above, I had to beg her to tell me what was going on. She tells me that we are growing apart and that we have different life goals, which I still disagree with to this day. She says it's been 3.5 years coming. She tried to stay positive, then says she's nearly 40 and wanted to have kids years ago. See above note about trying for kids months earlier. This makes no sense. We haven't even tried properly. It's not going to happen overnight. The other issue is that I'm training for a law enforcement job. I don't think she likes the idea of being the wife of someone who could be hurt in the line of duty. I basically told her that I'm willing to give it up if that's a deal breaker. Essentially, those 2 issues could be resolved immediately. She then asks me for space. 2 weeks of separation, as it would be good for her. I decided to move out, and that's the last time I slept in my own bed. That was 38 days ago. Now here comes a major key point. She cheated on me 14 years ago before we were engaged. Nobody knows this except us and the other party. I decided to forgive but not forget. I had never raised it again and was willing to take it to my grave. After 5 weeks of separation, I moved back home, but to the guest bedroom. I'm typing this from here. We have another chat. I basically tell her that if there is someone else, I understand, and that she wanted a divorce. Then I also understand. Doesn't mean I agree with it. She tells me there is no one else, and straight up says she does not want a divorce. Still loves me. Then goes on to say we married too young. She basically wanted to be married from day one. I feel she's trying to rewrite history here, and that she feels that she missed out on things, experiences, when she was young, and doesn't want to be accountable to anyone. How exactly does that work in the real world? I feel the last 2 items are massive red flags. In summary, she states that she sacrificed her dreams for what we have, but doesn't go into details. Honestly, the whole thing makes no sense without clear communication from her. Throughout this ordeal, we have not had a single fight. I've stayed calm, clear in my communication, and if she did something that was odd or negative, i.e. come home from work 4 hours late without communication, which has now become a common thing, I would make dinner and save it for her. No questions or complaints from me. I also explained that I'm willing to step up and be a better husband, although it's hard to know what else I can do when you're already giving it 120%, when no one is asking you to, and when no one is watching. I've probably been too nice, but it's hard to know how to maneuver when you don't have all the facts in front of you. Being at home is like walking on eggshells. Imagine living with a roommate, flatmate who doesn't talk to you, doesn't ask how you are, nothing. Actively avoids you. It is unbelievable that things are at this point, but here we are. Lastly, the other week, I found a card in her handbag. I know I breached her privacy, however, I don't have many other options. It's another piece of this crazy jigsaw puzzle. The card was unsigned and undated, which is interesting in itself. I believe it came from a female coworker, but what bothers me is that they seem to have more information at hand than I have. I don't remember the exact words, however, it said, "I know you've been down lately, as you are mourning your future life. Don't blame yourself. Don't put, sadly, all the blame on your shoulders. You are worth loving. The other things I could say, but I'll stop here. I would be interested in your thoughts on the above. I don't want it to be over, but if it is, then there is nothing I can do about it. I love my wife and would jump into a fire for her. However, I don't think she cares anymore. Her actions speak volumes. Do you think there could be someone else? I don't understand how someone could change that quickly when they are your soulmates. Her rapid change in behavior is hard to believe. Despite all the above, I'm still smiling. I have a roof over my head, a job, fit, and healthy. Training for a marathon at the moment. It could be worse. I just want the truth. Thanks for taking the time to read this. Update. Thanks so much for the replies. Really appreciate it. I will reply to everyone individually. Update 2. Big update. I received the following message from her which may be the key to what has been going on. Hi, name redacted. Strange thing happened the other day. My pen pal said he was heading overseas for a holiday and was going to, location redacted. I flippantly said, location redacted was a nice place to visit. Then, got a screenshot showing he booked a flight. He's coming to, location redacted, but traveling around. Would quite like to catch up with him, as who knows if paths would cross again. Hope you don't mind, XX. It could explain her phone behavior. This person lives on the other side of the world, but is taking a 7,000-mile detour for this. He's been her pen pal since before we met. However, the timing is incredible. Long-distance emotional affair? Is that a thing? Oh boy, this definitely sounds like cheating. It would explain her sudden behavioral change. She's distracted by her pen pal and she's getting all of her emotional needs met by this guy. This guy has probably shifted her thinking completely. She wants to be with him and is resentful that she married you and can't be with him. If she's not doing her part in this relationship, it's over. She's already gone. We can't be killing ourselves trying to save something that someone else threw into a meat grinder. Update. Hi team. I would just like to say a big thank you for those who took the time to respond to my original post. Although I didn't reply to all of you, I greatly value all your comments. I have a major update. About the time I posted on Reddit, she told me she would be traveling to a city over the weekend. No other details given. The day she was leaving, I asked for more details, and the weekend suddenly became a whole week. No other details given. She took an Uber to the airport, found out from her home CCTV before I got home. She knew from my schedule and that I wouldn't be home, so no questions would be asked. I don't want to say where she went, but it's the equivalent of traveling to Aspen if you were in the USA. Say from Kansas City. Basically, you go there to have a good time in the snow. Tonight, it was confirmed to me that she's with her pen pal friend. I also have some evidence that he's been in our city for a number of weeks. This explains her late nights and not needing dinner. This gun just won't stop smoking. This appears to be an international affair months in the making. This is betrayal to a whole new level, and I can't see how she thinks she will walk away from this smelling like roses, or she doesn't care. I do not believe she knows that I know, but I have figured it all out. Anyway, it is what it is. I've already got it out of my system. I'm not sad or angry. I'm actually looking forward to the future, with our challenges, but always with a positive mindset. Update. Wife, 38 female, acting like a different person and not communicating. Update number 2. Post-separation. Hi team. Just updating everyone on my situation. This is likely going to be my last update. She came home from her time away with the fur partner. Came in the door and gave me half a hug. I was on the phone and doing some tidying up in the kitchen. After the phone call ended, she began speaking with me, but I didn't react to her words and just listened. She says, "Why are you angry at me?" I wasn't angry, but it's interesting. She's trying to project this on me. Any other husband would have lost their crap a long time ago. I've done the opposite. I've stayed calm and collected. I told her I knew what had been going on, and this was her chance to come clean. She denied everything. Said they stayed in separate rooms. Her workmates told her that it would be good for her to go away. I bet they didn't know with whom. She told me she hasn't taken her wedding ring off, as evidence that she hasn't cheated. The whole explanation was just silly. She then comes and tells me that I have nothing to worry about, and she still loves me. I can sense fear and desperation in her voice. Anyway, the following day the goalposts shift again. She walks in the room and says that she doesn't understand why I'm upset since we have separated. Essentially, she's now saying that because we were separated, what she did wasn't cheating. She didn't use these words, but it's what she meant. I confronted her on the timeline of events, and she goes on to admit that the affair partner had been in town for 3 weeks. While she was at work, I found evidence of where they stayed and restaurants they visited, all top-end locations. I also found his toothbrush in her bag. Why would she have it in her bag if they were staying in separate rooms? And why even keep it? This was confirmed by some photos she sent me while she was away. She sent a photo from one location, pretending she was in another. I have taken photos of all the evidence, such as receipts, etc., in case they are needed in the future. I also have all the business cards of the venues they visited. She has since told me that she's sorry about the situation, blames herself, although she refused to give me the affair details. She also told me she didn't want kids and was worried when I spoke about having kids earlier this year. This is more goalpost shifting from her. It doesn't add up. At the end of the day, I believe she fears that people will find out the reason of why the marriage is over, and is going into damage control in order to protect her reputation. I believe she planned on me walking out and then telling people that I had left her. Clearly her game plan backfired. I'm not going anywhere. Anyway, it's over. She's been spending the entire weekend with him. I know they had dinner again last night, as I intercepted a message from him regarding what to bring over for their dinner recipe. Took my wedding ring off yesterday for the last time. It's going to take time for D-Day to come, as we share property 50-50. We're now just roommates. Other than that, I'm gone, and moving on. And thank you again, everyone, for your advice. I'll be hanging around long-term under my non-anonymous Reddit account. Hopefully, I can help out other people who are in the same boat. Let's see what some people in the community had to say. The first commenter goes, "Sorry, OP, but you are doing the best you can with a lying cheater. Does she know or understand it is over? Have you contacted an attorney yet? You're right, she will spin this to make it your fault. So best to get the correct story out there first. Secure your financials. Clean up the mess she has left. Heal yourself. Then when you're ready to start the search for a good loyal woman, they're out there. Take care." The OP replies, "Yes, lawyer has been contacted." The next comment states, "I would tell all the important people in your life now, before she has a chance to tell lies to make you look like the bad guy while she's the innocent victim. People will eventually know the truth, but she will muddy the water as much as she can, and it will affect your other relationships when people don't know who to support." Wow, OP, I'm so sorry. She's so very cold. The comments are right. She's definitely trying to make you look like the bad guy. To first ask if it's okay to meet up with her pen pal, asking permission to literally go and cheat. That's sick. And then to come back, deny it at first, and then get back at you for being mad about it? I'm sorry, you had to live like roommates for as long as you did. She was trying to blame you for her cheating and wanted to push you to the edge and react violently, so that she could reassure herself that she made the right decision in cheating, and basically play the victim, to prove to herself that you were the monster that she created in her head, the monster that deserved to be cheated on. What do you think? Would you have tried to work on the relationship? Why or why not?